Hello everyone, welcome to Sundowns fan vlog. We're here to react to Pitso 2024, hashtag Pitso 2024. Coach Pitso Mosimane has extended his contract with Mamelodi Sundowns as it was announced in the press briefing with the president and the technical director there. So yeah, we're here with it's the normal ones, it's the normal guys. It's myself, it's Madrets, and our new Madrets this side, Klutlo. Let me really. Yes, and we have two special guests who've been pushing content like crazy, like madman on Twitter since the lockdown started. We have Pro Pilani to our left. Pro, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, and then we also have Koketso here as well, a regular on the vlog.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So yeah, gents, let's get to it. Let's get to it. I always say to Neo that I had to, so let's not even waste time. Reactions right now. Coach Pitso just it was just announced now that Coach Pitso is staying with us for a further 4 years. Let's be proper guests. Let's start with Pro. Your immediate reactions and how you feel about this announcement.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Firstly, I think this is the best news I've heard. You know, with Ishuga Coach Pitso have been giving us a lot of sleepless nights, even though it doesn't affect us as supporters financially. But you know that Coach Pitso is everything. I mean, we started now to talk like him, to think like him, and to brag like him as well. So, to be honest, he's living rent-free on our minds at the moment. And I think if he didn't renew, it was gonna be hard for us. But since he renewed, I mean, I'm one of the people who are very, 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 very happy about it, and it means a lot for our development. It also means a lot also for our technical team, because you know that a top coach attracts top coaches as well, top talents, top scouts, and top scouts will always bring top players. Top players will bring trophies which are in line with the president's vision of dominating the continent and also participating regularly in the Club World Cup. So for me, it means a lot. And also our development players, it means they are going to get more chances. Yeah, so that is my reaction at the moment.
All right, yeah, and we'll go to Koketso. Koketso, your feelings about Coach Pitso extending his contract.
You know, strange enough, I know everybody's been panicking about the contract and whatnot, but you know how I view Coach Pitso, like I never had any doubt about the man leaving the team, man. Like I was always chilled. It's as if he's part of the furniture. You know, so I've always had that thing. No, man, like Pitso's going nowhere. There's no way like Pitso go. Like logic would dictate that this man be given another 6 years should he need, like increasing to this one that he currently has, you know. So I've always been chilled. I'm very thrilled that it's official. We're going to serve Ndogo as always, so we're still gonna break. Like it's like I feel bad, man. Like, you know, because now this man has changed the culture, has changed how we banter. You know those years that we used to banter. We used to be bantered. The 2007, 2012, where everything that you try and raise, even if you raise the most valid of points, the normal response that you would get is, "What has your team won?" You know,
show us the trophies.
So, yeah, man, like show us the trophies. I mean, I laugh because I just came across a tweet today from Zooks. Like his reaction was that we are so happy about the trophies as if it's our trophies. Like I'm like, the bar is that low now. Like Pitso has something like yeah, like it's bad, guys. Like I feel bad for these guys. Like there's another 4 years of pain. Like in fact, there's still gonna be more years. It's pain now. So I'm thrilled. It's official.
Yeah, and then Tlotlo, tell us how you are reacting to this news.
I'm like, okay, so I'm as much as the three of us were at one point because of my hem ago the club, we panicked we panicked a bit, but when you hear the men speak about stay where you are loved and the grass is not always green on the other side, you get the feeling that it's the ball was always in Sundowns' court. He had made up his mind that he wants to stay at the club that he loves, like he said today. So when we got the word a few weeks ago that the coach has signed, I was happy. I was chuffed. I mean, every Sundowns, I don't think there's a Sundowns fan in the world right now who's not chuffed, even if you're not the most passionate of Pitso supporters, but you know what the man brings to the club. He brings happiness. Happiness brings. He brings trophies, and trophies bring happiness. So over the moon.
My name is Pitso Mosimane. We just had the confirmation that the coach signed 4 more years with us. I'm happy. I want to see the moving train moving forward more than ever before. I want to see us winning a second star. I'm happy right now more than anything. We are the Mamelodi Sundowns that we are today because of the coach's resilient spirit and his hunger to win more games. So I'm just hoping that translates and it is actually reflected on the field of play. So yeah, Gabrielo, 4 more years.
Amen. Super stoked with the coach renewing his contract. The last few months have really been stressful, challenging for the league, and not knowing if our most prized possession will be with us going forward. Really happy with the news, and what a glorious day, knowing that we're going to continue dominating South African football for the next 4 years. Pitso, Sbege.
Earlier on, I wanted to tweet for at one point I nearly gave up. I nearly thought, you know what, good things don't last, man. Like, this thing is not gonna last because of the rumors that we had and the way that we got from this other side of football. Like, it's a side that you don't want to be part of, where you are privy to certain information, and then when we had there's interest from other teams in the league, and
and that team,
yeah,
that team,
yeah, yeah. So it was. There were like real rumors that coach might be going to Chiefs, this and that, and they were trying to rebuild and whatnot. The past 9 months have been the worst 9 months. But I was consoled by the fact that coach kept saying, stay where you are loved. And then at one point, the contract is 80% done. All they need now is to iron out a few things for Sundowns and whatnot. But now, let's start with you now. Like, for Sundowns, what does this mean? Like, for Sundowns going forward, what does this mean for this club in terms of everything?
I mean, right now, I think just continuity in the project. The one, let me take it away a bit from Coach Pitso personally, but in terms of like a football club, like changing coaches means like also you change, like you start a new project, if you call it that. Like the project is continuing. The project that's been working, that's brought 9 titles in the past 7 years, 7.5 years, 7 years. That project is still continuing, and yeah. Also, I think when you have, bringing it back to him, Pitso Mosimane, when you have Pitso Mosimane in your team, and he has all the resources that he has, you are confident as a fan. You know, as a football, before the results, as a football fan, before everything plays out, you want to brag about confidence already. Team Yaka, my team is, you know, this is what you want to see, a plan of action. Like, you want to see there's a plan, and when Pitso Mosimane is there, you see that plan. Like, I mean, that's worked for the past 7 years or so.
And there's also stability, like in keeping one coach for almost a decade. Yeah. So yeah, Pro. In terms of longevity, like in the league, longevity at Sundowns as well. In the many of your threads, I think you mentioned that Screamer was our longest-serving coach, working at Sundowns for what, 9 years?
Are you referring to Coach Screamer?
Yes. At one point, he was our longest-serving coach, right? Or as it stands?
Yes, but the challenge with him, service breaks. At some point, he'll be fired and he will come back. So that is why Ungeko easy to say he's the longest than Coach Pete.
Yeah. So in terms of when you look at it like that, I mean, like with the history that Sundowns has had, and then now with reshaping the history of Sundowns with Coach Pete, what does it mean for Sundowns to have a coach who's gonna stay for 12 years?
It means a lot. It means a lot. Firstly, it's easy for people to identify with the club, because in terms of job security, I mean, you can identify with the club that can keep a coach for such a long period. And also, technical team members, they like to identify themselves with a coach. So they would like to move where they know a coach and they know who they can work well with that coach. And also, AMA scouts as well, they know what the coach wants. So it's easy for them to identify players that the coach likes. Now, to come back to the issue at the club, Coach Pitso knows his story. And to have a coach that knows the story, that can brag and still back up his words with performance on the field. He's a human being, he makes mistakes. But when he does well, he ensures that he brings his A game to the club, and it's when you have Coach Pitso in your FC, it's like you are having the best girl in the township and everybody likes her, and they all want to be associated with her, one way or another.
Yeah,
when you have the best girl, I mean, you know, even if you buy her ice cream, you know that there are quite 9 out of 10 guys. They are looking at her and say, "Hey, I wish I can have her." Yeah. I mean, 4 out of 10 will criticize her and say, "No, she's this, she's that." But they know deep down in their hearts they would like to keep her and they would like to have her. So we have that kind of a coach at our club. And also for young players, I think that when they look at him, they see an opportunity to improve. They see a man who can help them improve, a man who can develop their game, a man who can take them to the continent, a man who brings a lot of attention, who brings a lot of scouts to Sundowns games. This is a man that can actually help them contribute to the legacy of Mamelodi Sundowns. So for us to have a coach who can stay this long, I mean, who wouldn't like to have an Alex Ferguson, like the president always says, in Gugu FC yard? So for me, I really think Uguti, to have him for such a long time, it will also assist us with the brand identity as well. I mean, Coach Pitso can attract attention even East and North Africa. I've been receiving ama DMs from guys from East Africa. They would like to know about Coach Pitso, and you know, you always refer them to relevant people, but there is interest. Imagine if Coach Pitso can tweet in Kiswahili, how many people in Africa will actually be attracted to that kind of a person. I mean, there's no denial Luguti, who Coach Pitso has taken Sundowns brand to another level. And there's no denial who Coach Pitso has caused a havoc with Maghreb region. You have wider fans create some posters talking to or addressing Coach Pitso, and you have unlucky players wanting to shake his hand. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. And to have such a coach, for me now personally, it's something else, something totally different.
So I like the point that you just touched on now here, because the president has always said, like, he wants Coach Pitso to be the Alex Ferguson of South Africa, be the Alex Ferguson of Mamelodi Sundowns. This one I'm opening it up to every one of you guys. Like, let's just have a discussion. So, looking at the fact that when players think of playing on the continent, when PSL players, would you guys agree with me if I were to say, because this is my personal opinion, would you guys agree with me that every player in the PSL, when he thinks of going to the next level and improving in terms of like their profile, the next level of football, and going a step higher in Sundowns?
Yeah, you mentioning it's a very prominent question. And I was actually thinking about it the other day. Like, it's very hard now to separate CAF football in South Africa and Pitso Mosimane. Like, they've pretty much become one entity. So it was like, going back to the point that Pro raised, it was always going to be hard. If Pitso had left, it was always going to be hard to try and emulate what he has done. Because look at it, every player now that you interview and is linked with Sundowns and has an interest of playing with Sundowns. I mean, I'm talking about that striker from Vets. I'm talking about that player from Leopards. They'll all mention the fact that I would like to take my game to another level, and I'd like to take my game to the continent. And the driving force behind those statements is one guy. I mean, Sundowns has been there. Sundowns has taken the competition serious, we know, but they always had that hurdle that they couldn't get over it. Like, would play well with Egerson, would draw a game against Al Ahly, and we'll go to Al Ahly and they'll just give us a hiding. That's it, So, I mean, this guy has changed that thing, and we can confidently go and say to Al Ahly supporters and say, we'll give you 5. And those are facts. We can give them 5.
So, we're not over again.
More Obi than me. But the man has changed the culture so much, man. Like, I find it rather strange for people. I saw the other day, and I noticed this. People could criticize Sundowns now. At this point, Pitso Mosimane, they can criticize Sundowns about anything except about our football. Like, how ironic is that? And now there's just talk about our team now, how we play. We're not playing well. It's javelin football. But what up? If you guys remember well, the first 2 seasons, Pitso used to complain about the fact that teams park the bus. That's what he complained about. He's like, teams come here and they park the bus. He still does, but he's kind of like figure out a master key where he's like, but wait, why do I have to go through the ball? Why does the ball have to go through the middle when I can just loop it and I have the piano players already have it? Because the trick is to get it to the piano players. That's always been our trick. So I don't understand why people would criticize our football. And I always refer to them. I'm like, there's no coach in the league who can switch it up like Pitso. Pitso can play any type of football he wants. If you don't believe me, I tweeted the other day, if you don't believe me, just look at the goal that we scored playing against Barca. They were pressing us from the goalkeeper to the ball going to the net. Players on the ground, like, no one panicked. From Kennedy Mwene, like, Kennedy is not even our starting 11. He's our backup keeper. Like, guys, I really don't understand. Like, this guy is something else.
Yeah. And then let's look at in terms of we've spoken that keeping Coach Pitso, like, it gives so much, like, it gives us an edge and an advantage with so many things. And one of the things that were talked about in the past 2 transfer windows was the fact that we didn't get our transfer targets. Like, it ended up being the worst kept secret that we want Kamabila back and Kamabila wants us back, but we just couldn't cross that line. The past window as well, it was about Aubrey Ngoma, And then, do you guys think the fact that Coach Pitso's contract was hanging in the air might have contributed to those signings not materializing?
Definitely did, boy. Especially with the big one, the Kama Bila. Like you said, it's the worst kept secret. Kama wanted to come back. We wanted cover, and the fact that Coach hadn't signed, I'm sure it was a stumbling block on Kama's side. If this guy doesn't sign and there's a new guy at Barcelona who's going to be the coach, yeah, we want to play for him. Yeah, we want to go back there.
Yeah.
So I think it was a stumbling block. Even the Aubrey Ngoma deal, even the Jeff Mutupa deal. I think a lot. But after the January transfer window closed, Coach Pitso said in a couple of press conferences that we've done a couple of deals for next season, and I'm sure he worked on them after the January transfer closed. He worked on those deals and getting them done, and he assured the players that, no, look, I'm staying. Look at the Shompoke kind of deal. Is it 4 years for Shompoke?
4 years, yeah.
4 years, yes.
The Shompoke for the Annalyn, those are senior players, trusted Lieutenant Pitso Mosimane. So for the fact that they signed for 2 and 4 years, I'm sure they got a word from the coach that, look, I'm staying, and we're continuing to build this monster.
Yeah, and then also when he had the IG live with Naves, he said, I think there, like, he just made it clear, or guys, I'm staying here. When he said,
true.
Yeah.
Yes, ever.
When he said, but he must check the team that I'm building for next season. That kind of told us, we are rebuilding and we are going back to dominate the league. We are going back to try again for Africa to get that second star. And then he's been speaking about trying to replicate the CBD team, because when he first came, he talked about balance, and then he built that, and then he built the CBD. Now he says he wants to build a team like the CBD. And now with the coronavirus thing, it gives us time for Morena to heal. It gives us time for Afonso to heal. And then you're bringing in your Grand Mangamans. There are rumors of Boca Pinga. There are rumors that Kama is going to sign a pre-contract with us in December or January. Guys, help me out here. I mean, do you guys see us going back to 2015-16 Sundowns?
Look, I think, as Coach Pitso said on that Insta Live, like, he said something along the lines of, watch out for the team we are building for next season. And you see in him not replacing, but getting people who are going to fit into the spaces where we have more senior players, like Onyango, February. I think you and Pro were tweeting about it the other day. Onyango, February,
yes, Pro, yes.
And then we like not only for next season, but continuity
going forward,
leaving just going forward. Onyango, February, and then you have Anel in that position. You are blessed because you also have Lukubeni and Morena, and then centre backs we have. I could name them all, but I'm just gonna waste time. But all I'm saying is that it looks promising. It looks exciting. Will we reach the level of CBD 71 points? I don't know. It's a possibility. It's a huge possibility. But a lot of things would have to go right. And you must remember, Kakasi's in CBD in the crucial time, we were also not participating in CAF. So it's going to be a huge ask for us to repeat that feat. But as a similar team, we can replicate the team. But I don't think the result of 71 points is very probable, but it's possible.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, continue. Yeah.
I just want to add on more that point. Yeah, Neo. He's also that team, man. That team was a unicorn, man. Like, it's going to be very hard to replicate something like that. Yes, it's the same guy. It's the same formula, but the tools are not the same. I mean, we're talking about Keegan Dolly. We're talking about Billiard. Not so much on Castro, but yeah. So I personally think, I don't think we'll do that. We'll replicate that team, but I think this guy has a formula now.
Why not, guys? Why can't we replicate the team? Like,
I think that team was a once in a lifetime type of guy. and you get one of those, like, like when you're dating somebody and then you let go, and a few relationships later you realize you're like, I actually had the best human being in my corner. Like, I let go. So yeah, we'll get there.
But so not to cut you off, but think about it. You had Trompo, you had Zungu, you had Teko for your midfield. You still have Trompo. You are replacing him with Grand Mangaman. You have Andile Jali. Never rainbow foot. You have a Semisiabi whose like ceiling can only be as high as he wants it to be. I mean, I think Lafort is past that Lafort. I said Lafort old, but
he's
in the
best.
space,
Definitely
it's past his best. But in the space of Lafort, you have your Kenetso Makalwas. You guys, we still have Katlaho Utladisa. Like, you have your Mkulisi. Yeah, you have your Mkulisi. You might have your Billiard coming back. Like, the big rumor is that Billiard might sign a pre-contract, because contract next year June, and there's a rumor that he might be signing. Okay, maybe let's address this here, all of us. Do you guys think if Kama comes back, he will give us what he used to give us? Do you think Kama is past his best, or is he still the same Kama?
I don't think Kama will ever give us that. Sorry, Claude. Sorry, but like, I really don't think Kama will give us that. Like, but Kama was 60% is still better than most of the people in the PSS. So I'll gladly accept him back. I don't think he'll be at optimum, but I'll gladly accept him back.
Kama. No. I don't think Ukama will give us what we are hoping he will give us. I think being injury prone will also affect.
Is he really injury prone, guys? Let's stop beating about the bush. We had the stories about Kama's injury stories when his contract was coming to an end.
Injury prone.
Okay.
bro, are you buying the fact that Kama is always injured? Because he was always injured at Sundowns towards the end of his contract, and because he didn't get the deal that he wanted to come back to Sundowns. He
wanted.
Now he's injury prone.
Well, the fact that's the official statement was that he had injuries. Even though I don't want to sound like a gossip type, but I know some of the things that he was up to, because I know the people that he used to hang up with. So I don't want to talk about them. Ngoba, it's gonna affect the purpose of the conversation we are having. But for me, I think I would invest more in Promise Mkuma. I would invest more in some of the MTC players, and I'll focus more on developing Uspelele Mkolisi and turn him into what I want him to be. And I think Promise Mkuma, given a chance, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, he can give us something in 2 to 3 years' time. You can also
offer us what Keegan was offering us.
Yeah, exactly. And Promise, from what I've seen of him, he can even play in the pockets. He can play behind the strikers. He can play wide on the left. So for me now, I'll just close the Kama chapter altogether. Come back to Promise Mkuma. Come back to Uspelele Mkolisi. Because from what I know, I beg your pardon.
No, but I'm saying, guys, Kama Billiard. There's no player better than Kama.
I understand. You are correct. But in the long run, can he give us 4 seasons.
Sign him to a 3-year deal.
I was about to say.
Yeah, we are yet to hear what people wanted to say about the Kaman issue.
Yeah. We would say 60% Kama billiard is better than most. He's better than all of it, not most. Better than all. Kama billiard is a it's so high, and you need cherry on top, and he's that cherry on top of that cake. Kama billiard scores or creates a goal that we needed against Wydad. Not this Champions League, but last year when we needed one goal to go through to the final. Kama billiard creates something. Yes, that's the special element we're missing right now. That player. Yes, we have Gaston, we have Shishi, but sometimes he's off. Sometimes Kama billiard will be that missing spark that we need to go from quarterfinal, semi-final, the Champions League to the final. PSL, we are sorted. We'll win the PSL without Kama billiard, yes. But easy to take us to the next level of the Champions League, we need a player like Kama billiard, if not Kama billiard.
Especially away, because we struggle in North Africa away.
Yep, to get a goal.
Yes, to get a goal. So, we've digressed. We've digressed so much because
we have.
But the thing is, Coach Pitso staying, like, it affects so many things. So that we just had to nibble at like some of these things so that it brings in the context of Coach Pitso staying. And then what I don't know if you guys like wanted to add more things because I don't want to rush. Yeah.
Since Coach Pitso is signed, I want you guys, all for you, or including myself, to give me a signing that will take us to the next level. Let's Kama billiard for a while. A signing that we need, that we think we need, and will
take us over the
that
top.
will help us retain our league title and probably possibly challenge for the Champions League. Yes. And that target must be attainable. Seeing all how City can say someone who can realistically get.
Bro, you can start.
Let me shoot first. Let me shoot first. I'll go for Edmilson Dove, Cape Town City left back.
Rumor is
I think we really need a left back.
Rumor is we might already have him.
Oh well, I'm covered then. I'm covered then.
Cox.
Pretty much, I think we covered. Like, our only problem is injuries, man. Like, if we had Afonso in the Champions League and he was sorted, he was fit, I think something could have materialized. But if I was pressed for a signing, Cape Town, not letting Romeo, guys. Let's go fetch Romeo.
No disagrees.
Like, that's it. Like, I don't think we even need to teach him anything, or we even need to tell him what to do. Like,
throw him in there.
Plug and play.
Yeah,
plug and play. Like, he's good to go.
No,
Romeo.
I also left back, but for me, and you know my stance on new signings, man. Although Dove is young, but
not young,
I would, but let's keep it in context. Let's go with the age that he told the PSL. So
the age that the PSL registered him with.
Yes, let's go with that age. But I'd also say left back, but I'd go with Mabiliso from Amazulu. I think he can give you years, like 10, maybe 15 until he's 36. He's only 20 or 21, I think. Give him training. I'm a guess Sirino every day. There's no way if I'm a Sirino every day, you're going to become an elite defender.
Same way. Aranze BD every day.
Exactly, and he became an elite defender. So So it's either Mabili or Terence Mashehu from TF's Galaxy, the Mamelodi boy. I think he can also be, or maybe we can sign them both, like both at Milson and either one of the two younger ones, so that we have three. Oh, you know that G always says you need to have three. So you have your main person, which is Langaman, which is coming. He's aging, and then you have your second choice, which should be as good or good enough, or with the potential to be better, and then three, an academy graduate or somebody that just recently started professionally. So I'll go with the left back position, which is Mabili, so would be my preferred one.
Now, for me, like a signing that takes us to the next level and gives us what we don't have is same as Kuke. So like you guys have known since January, now one. But now for me, it's two signings. Can I say two signings, Kuke?
Yeah.
Now my signings, Aubrey Ngoma for the left back position and Kemit Erasmus. Like those are the two signings I think will give us an edge. Aubrey Ngoma, same as Kemit. He plug and play, like Koketo said. Like Aubrey has played in Africa. He's like a bubbling Bafana player. Like he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. But come to Sundowns, you're in until. And Eliana Aubrey, like his age can give you, at his age, he can give you 6-7 years. He's a starting Bafana left back in waiting. That G told you, Aubrey has no business playing left wing. Like come to left back, you won't have any. Aubrey has the potential to be like an Ahiri of like South Africa, like because if you look at it, like when Ahiri, like they don't have the size that we want and all of these things that we might want in a defender, but he has all the tools, like comfortable on the ball, good going forward, is a good finisher, he can kick with his right. And it wasn't done anyway, even if you're a left back, you'll find yourself Kupeli like most of the times. So you get Aubrey Ngoma, you get Kemit Erasmus, we are good to go.
Probably maybe a conversation for another day, but I think Sundowns needs to change its transfer policy of going for of the big stars like Mudiba, and that's why when Kukutu said Erasmus and Kukutu said Neo disagrees, we were having this conversation the other day, is that our transfer policy needs to change. Like Sundowns money can't keep on running the PSL transfer market. Every time we want, obviously Pitso said we want a player that's playing, we want a player that's a star in that team. That's the players we want. That's the players that are going to help us challenge for the Champions League. But I think with a bit of data analysis and signing players that will suit this thing that they're doing, it's a modern trend now in Europe when players are signed according to data. I think Liverpool does that very well. That's why you don't ever find
they're the best at it.
Players.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's how they send Robertson.
How do you get Robertson for 8 million? Now he's the world's best left back.
You
bought him for 8 million. Gini Van Helden, for how much did they buy Gini for? I think we should start approaching Sundowns should start approaching the transfers like Kaka data analysis, more of you find out what you need in your left back and not going for the superstar. Aubrey Ngoma is a superstar signing. Kemit Erasmus is a superstar signing. That's why they're gonna coach you 15 and 22 million.
But another thing now is that they might be superstars, but does Aubrey Ngoma not fit into the structure of Sundowns and our playing style? Does he not?
He does. He probably does, but he can't.
Not he probably, but no.
The thing.
Oh, okay, I get you. He can be the only option, and then we can also get. I get you. We can also get younger players. But the thing is, boy, if you get Aubrey, if you get Kemit, it's basically what we are lacking right now. Okay.
Yes, I'm not arguing that, but I'm saying like if we improve our transfer policy, we could probably find players as good as them for way less.
Okay, I get you. Your point. But
if I can just add on what Nell's saying. No, you're raising a very important point, and I was also going to mention that the hardest part for Pitso in this period, this whole 4 year, is the development structure. We're releasing so much quality from the development. It's going to be tricky to find out who we're keeping, who we're letting go. So the trick is that we don't release people that we're going to end up kicking ourselves, getting ticked off, or we release them because we made such a rash decision. So you're actually right when you say we need to be orientated in terms of that. I get your point now, and I get why you're disagreeing with that whole Emmett Erasmus thing. It's very tricky. We have to find this intricate balance because conveyor belt keeps on moving. We need the Champions League. And how do we match the two? How do we match that whole period where you need a trophy and you need players that can immediately jump in and play? The quality is there. Go at the bottom. We've seen what we can release from the MDC team. So it's going to be tricky, guys. Like, I don't want to be Pitso right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
Yeah, but for the sake of continuing the conversation and keeping to what we like Nell said, like this could be a conversation for another day, and it's something that we can
For
do.
another day, yeah.
Yeah,
Another
we can do that like another day. But
Very interesting.
yes, very interesting. I think now let's maybe like this might be the last part. Like going back to what the discussion is about Coach Pitso staying in him deciding to stay at Sundowns. We know there were he has said himself at the when we won I think it was the final game of the season last season that he got an offer from Qatar. We know like how we dead fans love him, even though we might not know if there were official offers that came in. But him choosing to stay with Sundowns, what does it say for like holistically, like in terms of his legacy as a manager and his legacy as a Sundowns manager? What does that say about that?
I think Peter has learned a very valuable lesson. And that lesson he was taught go Bafana Bafana. Where, if you look at the way Pitso left Bafana Bafana and what he was doing at Bafana Bafana, I don't think we fully comprehend what was about to happen. Like, we were so close. We were so close with Bafana Bafana. Even if you check the way when we were ticked off that, we didn't qualify, yeah, technicalities charged us. Maybe because somebody didn't read the rule books, probably. But what he was about to do and what we actually received as supporters, two different things. We kicked the man, 12 points, both teams. We said he's useless, he can't coach, he talks too much and whatnot. So he realized that, it's very hard to find people who actually can see the vision and who can buy into your vision and who can actually embrace that whole vision. Pitso knows he's laughed at Sundowns, but it didn't just happen. He saw biscuits before he was loved. Like, there were people tweeting that he must go after he won a trophy, after he won a championship, like after years of not winning the championship. But he was escorted by police. But he's realized, hey, man, this thing you can't buy it, man. You can't just go to a shop and buy this kind of thing. It's bigger than that. Yeah, the money bigger elsewhere, but you don't find what I have here. Is it a comfort zone? I doubt it is, because the challenge is there. There's no coach who challenges himself more than General Hamilton, Pitso Mosimane. This man, like, his dreams are far, man. Like, he's far gone. He's gone. So it can't be comfort zone. So I think the legacy that he's about to leave, like, we're going to see when Pitso leaves. Say hypothetically he leaves in the next 4 years after this contract and he's out. The legacy that we're going to see is that we're going to have a goalkeeper that's 26. That's from the development. We're going to have these key components, these key positions in the team that are within the structure, and you can confidently say, I can challenge anybody in Africa without having to stress about who did I buy in the last 3 years and whatnot. So it's huge what he's building. We've bought into the vision. It's a cult, like Pro had said. It's a cult, and he's very fortunate to have that cult. Like Ramrat or Pitso. People don't love Pitso. Like, they really hate Pitso. Ramrat. So they don't because they'll criticize even the smallest of things. Like, there's no rationale within their argument when they're talking about Pitso, because they'll say, Pitso's super sport was useless. Pitso's, These guys, like, they don't understand Pitso. They don't, like, I don't understand if these people started watching soccer at 2012 or when Pitso was about one of them. I really don't get it. Like, you know, go to SuperSport and go to any academy. I mean, ask who's this guy that scored that World Cup goal, the header? He was the dog, like the guy from Holland, Van Persie. Ask Van Persie about Pitso. Like, Van Persie will tell you about Pitso, how big this guy is, and we don't understand that. And I'm afraid the rest of us, we're going to appreciate it once he's no longer there.
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, Pro, you wanted to have a go ahead?
I agree with Ugoke, so with everything that he has said. History will remember Pitso Mosimane same way it remembers Prasten. And I know that a lot of people, they don't understand the contribution to Prasten. But Prasten took something that sort of like a new club, because Sundowns 83 just got promoted. And they finished slightly above the relegation zone 84, 85. Then 86 Prasten took this team out of nowhere and he made them the top team. And we remember Prasten today simply because he came up with the concept Shushan and Piano. And Shushan and Piano, behind him, he had a chairman or a president who believed in him as a coach. With Pitso, you have President Motsipe who believes in him. And Pitso has done exceedingly and above all you can ask or think as a football fan. He has taken Sundowns to places that we have never imagined. And he has taken us above Chiefs and Pirates. And at the moment, we are sitting on 12 league titles with the Chiefs. And we have an opportunity to be the best ever side in the history of South African football. That is the legacy of Pitso Mosimane. And in the next 4 years, I see Pitso Mosimane giving us 7 or 8 players from the development to the starting lineup. Currently we have Aubrey Ngoma, Mkuma, Makala, Mkulisi, Madisha, and there's also Uspem Kize at Ajax Cape Town. And there is Ulukubeni, there is Harold Mahadibud. So all those kids, I see them in the next 4 years, they will be first team players. So that is the legacy of Pitso Mosimane. We have never, ever before in the history of Mamelodi Sundowns, so we have more than 3 players from the development playing in the first team. So in my opinion, I really feel Pitso Mosimane will be the greatest ever at Mamelodi Sundowns, and he will be the greatest ever in the history of South African football, and he is going to make Sundowns the greatest team ever in the history of South African football. So no matter what history archives you have, you will always know that Sundowns has more league titles than any side. And Pitso Mosimane is going to give us a clean sweep in one of the seasons. He's going to win everything. And provided that the president keeps to his word, he buys in players that he needs, and he gets the proper people to work with. Because sometimes a coach can have the best plan, only to be let down by the people he works with. I'm happy that Pitso Mosimane works with people that he believes in, works with people that support his vision, works with people that have no intention of betraying him. So those are the key things that I think will make legacy of Pitso Mosimane even better. Yeah, those are the things that I can think of at the moment.
Now, you wanted to have a bite at it.
I remember we were having a conversation the other day. Pitso cares too much about his. Now bringing the contract and speculation of Qatar, Egypt, North Africa. We were having a conversation, I think, with you the other day. I think Pitso could easily take a 2 million rand a month contract in Qatar, or 3 million rand a month contract in Qatar, and sign a 5-year deal. And then if all fails, he could baggage a huge retirement package from that, like his package that he can get from that money-wise. But we are dealing with a serial winner here, someone who cares too much about his legacy and how he's viewed in football. He doesn't want to if he was doing it for the money, he could have taken that easy route of, yeah, I've made a name for myself. Let me go to North Africa, make big money. If it fails, I take my package and chill and focus on my schooling football project, But being the serial winner that he is, he's taking another challenge. I mean, he's at a club where him and Dr. Patrice are a deadly combo. Like, so one has the resources, the other has the know-how, how to succeed. And man, we went from trying to be the best in South under Pitso's reign, trying to be the best in South Africa, to now it being a norm, being the best in South Africa, and now we want to be mentioned alongside Al Ali, Zamalek, Mazembe. That's the legacy of Pitso Mosimane at Sundowns and his technical team. And also you see that even after 4 years, even if he decides to call it quits on the coaching side, you see that not that Pitso is the type to leave continuity for the next coach, like in terms of like a proper structure that is at the club. So yeah, that's Pitso Mosimane's legacy at Mamelodi Sundowns.
I was about to say, if today we got an announcement that Pitso Mosimane has left Mamelodi Sundowns, of course we'll be sad and stuff, but even today, right now, as you speak, he'll be spoken as probably the greatest Mamelodi Sundowns coach and probably the greatest Mamelodi coach in South Africa. That's and for me, I don't know about you, gents. For me, he has changed the mindset of how Mamelodi Sundowns supporters think. Yes, we used to love the Champions League, yes, but like you as supporters, we can't speak about Mamelodi Sundowns and not mention. I think that's what to mention and not speak about the Champions League. Like it never stress how we could play. Got number 3 this season and playing the Confederations Cup number 4, and it didn't feel right not playing the Champions League. And that's the mindset. That's the mindset Pitso has instilled in every Mamelodi Sundowns supporter. Yes, the trophies are nice. Yes, at the end of the day, it's about winning and winning trophies. But everything around that Pitso does has changed mindset, the way we think, the way we view African football as a whole. Like, if you spoke to a regular Mamelodi Sundowns supporter 10 years ago, or Jalago Dolisi against AC Leopards, are you gonna watch that? I probably say no, whatever. Who was that? But because of Pitso, we know these places, we know these teams. We are more interested in North African football now because of Pitso Mosimane. So his legacy is huge, man. What the gents said, what you said about his legacy, so many things can be said, but put him on end.
Yeah, with
one
me,
thing.
yeah.
One thing I had forgot to mention in my when I was speaking earlier on is Pitso Mosimane's relationship with the Yellow Nation. I mean, I think you and Tuto were talking about it earlier today. Pitso will never speak without speaking about Mamelodi Sundowns
the supporters.
And, when other coaches do it, it's just the typical. I don't know if you can
being diplomatic.
Thanks to our fans. Being diplomatic, thanks to our fans. But
that's the word.
Pitso goes into detail, man. They have banners about me. They have 4 songs about me. Like it's not pre-recorded. You can tell that it's from the heart, and this is what makes us as other fans and people view it. Of Pitso has a cult following. It's because of how he speaks of Sundowns fans. Like, I don't think it's ever happened in the PSL before that a coach speaks that way about his fans.
So highly.
Yeah, part of the legacy that I was talking about. Like, it's I'm sure from outside, a person with a sober mind, like, it's also beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
Being a part of, but I'm sure it's also beautiful to watch.
I agree. With me, I was thinking, like in the morning when I woke up, and since the lockdown has started, like if I'm not going to work, I wake up around 11. Marakache, like at 6:30, I was up, like because of this announcement I knew was taking place. So I was thinking about Pitso's legacy, and then you know how he always said, like I remember after we won the final, the Telkom knockout final in December against Maritzburg. Like I was sitting in the front, Capresa, and I wanted to hear this guy properly. And he said, "My legacy is not trophies." What type of flex is that? You just want a League Cup, and you just sit there and say, "My legacy is not trophies. My legacy is Keegan Doling going to Europe, Bongani Zungu going to Europe, Pesitao going to Europe." Like, think about that, man. Like, and remember now when we spoke, once we export players from Zungu, like who are gonna build such a profile in Europe, it opens the market. Like Horiba shifted their focus to say, wait, there's something going on in South Africa in that team. And I think that's coach's legacy. Like I know it's like regurgitating what he has said, but also another thing for me is that I think Pitso is probably the first coach in South African football history and Sundowns history to sort of be a coach, but also be a manager and be like, you know, like how in America, like when a basketball team like wins a title, they say they point to the general manager, the person who recruits. Like when the Raptors won, everyone was saying the GM is like so lauded, thinking. No one was speaking. Okay, they were speaking about the players, but the most important thing was Masai Ujiri. So I think Coach Pitso has done that. Like he's a recruiter. Mabanes Como tweeted, responded to a tweet where I think it was the Liverpool Echo or something. They said Klopp sat down with Timo Werner and sold him the project, and Coach Pitso always says he sits down with his players and with the players he wants to sign, and he sells them the project. Hence, when you saw George sign, when you saw Andile sign, when you saw Aubrey Ngoma sign, they were all at Coach Pitso's house. It shows you, like, I was reading an article by Ricardo Kaza, and he was talking about how when Coach Pitso was recruiting him at Supersport, he said to him, "Let's have lunch, but don't come alone. Come with your girlfriend." And he has also brought that element of Sundowns to their family. Like when after a Sundowns game, when the supporters sing and the players are singing with the supporters on the field, you see kids running. When we win cup finals, you see kids running. You see like who are in like serious players who are in serious relationships. You see their girlfriends. Players who are married, you see their wives there. Like Coach Pitso has brought that. To a point, it's like I feel like even the wives and the girlfriends know the project. This is what is happening at Sundowns right now. So I think that's his legacy. Like he brought this thing of being a recruiter more than being a coach. Because in like we would send players and then the coach would be told, "Here you go. Like here are your tools. Work." But Coach Pitso, like he sits down with the tools, he finds them and knows how he's gonna use them. I think that's his that's a legacy that he's going to leave, and going to what Neo always cries about, having a football culture. I can only hope that other teams are looking at what Pitso has built and what Sundowns has built by keeping Coach Pitso for so long and working at something for so long, because winning, I swear, winning doesn't it involves luck, Mara. I think dice. You don't just roll a dice and you work on it. So yes. Like so, I think Coach Pitso has brought that. Like his legacy is so broad, man. Like I'm hoping someone is documenting this so that one day there will be a documentary where we just like have footage and Coach Pitso sits down and gives
like the last dance.
Like the last dance, you know, like. Hopefully, 2022, 2020, 2021, 2022 season, he sits them down and says, "Guys, if Coach Pitso doesn't stay beyond this 4 years, I can't begrudge him. You gave us 12 years of your life.
No, you can't.
Changed our team.
Yeah.
Gents, I just wanna.
Yeah.
I just want to mention something. I thought it's very relevant for this chat that we're having. it's like him to me. He mentioned something very like, you know, like he's a stats guy. He ran the stats. He said Pitso is responsible for 36% of the trophy Sundowns won since 1986. And I was like, hey,
I wasn't even born. I was
like,
That's
perspective. I was like,
That's a huge chunk.
Yeah.
And you check the time that he did that. I was like, hey, yes, like so.
Speaking of stats, I was looking at Pitso's for posted Pitso's win rate since he was at Sundowns. Man, you look at and you compare it. It's 58% actually, almost 60%. You look at it and compare it to some of the people who have won 40
in the
titles.
world.
But yeah, no, I'm saying like in the country.
At home, okay.
But yeah, some of the people who have won 4 league titles within, some of them are at less than 50% win rate. Some of them are less than 60, like less than 55. And now I don't know when people mention the greatest coach of South Africa, I don't know why they don't put that into perspective. That look at the win rate. Pitso has never had a season that's at club level. He's never had a season where he finished below second. Like he's never had that. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how to finish below second. You know. So yeah, like Pitso, man. I think we are blessed to have Coach Pitso and how he has changed our FC from what it was in 2013, 2012. Yes, we used to play beautiful football, and then he brought in a bit of beautiful football, but a bit of pragmatism, which is misinterpreted as javelin, as Kokes was saying earlier on.
You can't fluke 4 titles, man.
You can't.
You can be a Paul Doleza and fluke 1 title, but you can't fluke 4 PSL titles, whether you like it or not. So winning 4 PSL titles and still pushing for your 5th one. I mean, he's about to contribute 50% of our PSL titles.
Yes, sir.
So you can't fluke that.
But you put it like that.
You can't. I mean, come on. So, to be honest, by the time Pitso leaves, I think it's gonna be a sad day in South African football history. And I pray and I hope that when he leaves, he only joins Bafana, because Pitso was a success at SuperSport United. Yeah. When he took SuperSport United, it was one of those teams that were always there, but they were not contributing anything in terms of challenging for the titles and challenging for the League Cups and all those kind of things. But he took SuperSport United and he made them title challengers, a young team, and he always bragged about the fact that they are a young team. And when you start listening to players, his former players talk about him, they will tell you that if you are not a hard worker, you will never play for Pitso Mosimane. From his days at SuperSport United, they say the very same thing. Even today at Sundowns, players are saying the same thing. Keegan Dolly was saying somewhere that he spoke to Grant Magaman and he told him that go there, work hard, and go home.
Yeah,
that's the only way you're gonna impress Coach Pitso.
Yeah, so go to training and go home.
4 out of 9, go to training and go home. 4 out of 9 titles, and you call that a fluke, coach? Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah. And what did I want to say? And even after the stories that came out after Teko Modise dropped his book, when George Livesey left, I remember when Teko on the Car Wash podcast on Soccer Laduma said, he told George about Sundowns. He said, at Sundowns, if you want to come here, you must be sure. Because playing at Pirates and playing at Chiefs, the way you played Pirates and Chiefs, you might not survive playing at Sundowns, because at Sundowns you must work. He said at Sundowns you must run, at Sundowns you must press, at Sundowns you must do so many things. And he said you need to dig deep when you're a player, like if you want to play for Sundowns and you want to play for Pitso. So for me, like looking at what was said about Teko and what he said in his book and what he said himself, it's 2 different stories, and it gives you perspective as to what type of team this man has built and even when when you said we are the best team in the country, that is, whenever I tweet that, like I tweet it like I'm convinced to say Sundowns is the best team in the country. You like it or you don't like it. Sundowns is the best team in the country. Sundowns is in the top 10 of the continent. Without a shadow of a doubt, we are the best team in the country, and we are going to remain the best team for the next 4 years. And hopefully there will be a good succession plan that it continues. It continues, and we go on a 20-year run. But even after 20 years, if we can go back to being Sundowns, remember when at one point when we were Sundowns and no longer Mamelodi Sundowns, we can go back to that after 20 years.
It's fine.
It's
or
fine.
even double actually.
Yeah, even go. Hey, but double action, we will go there. We will go then. Yeah, but guys, this chat has been going on for so long, guys. I don't think people's data will survive.
Yeah, really.
So I think let's just closing remarks. Closing remarks from all of you. I'll start at the bottom. Neo, and then Pluto, and then so and then Pro. Closing remarks.
All I'm gonna say is that just like the 2017-18 season league title, this contract was never under threat.
Wow! What a way to close it. Yeah.
Just one thing. Pitso Mosimane.
Cox.
I just want to thank, actually, it's a thank you note, Nyana, to the coach. I would just like to thank him for giving us the opportunity to just support the team and nothing else. We don't have to stress about any other thing but support the team. That's it. That's why now when every song that we sing in the stand, we actually mean it. You know? So that's it. Pitso, we thank you. Like harna pilaelo. So yeah, like we mean every single word. So it comes from the heart. So thank you for that beat. Thank you for allowing us to be Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club supporters.
NgesiZulu we always say umuntu ungumuntu ngabantu. Just to put it short, for what Sundowns is today and for what Sundowns was before, it cannot be compared. But we see a graph that keeps on going high. And thank you very much to Coach Pitso for giving us a platform to brag with confidence. And thanks to the supporters as well for standing behind the coach, because it's the first time ever I've seen supporters standing in one voice, backing the coach. And it's more important for us, it's more important for new recruits as well. When the coach is there, it means there's stability. It means the talent will be retained all the time. And it means points will keep on coming and trophies will also keep on coming. So sky's the limit.
Nice. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll surely bring you more content. I think this gentleman that we've invited here owes more than a reaction to Coach Pitso signing a further 4 years. The topic that Neo raised, we will definitely look into it in the next week, and we'll definitely have it up on our page. Continue to subscribing to Masandana Fan Vlog, liking all our videos, and we promise you there will be a championship vlog.
By the news that we had today officially, we always knew that our coach is really staying now that made it official. This guy is remarkable. He has done exceptionally well. We love him. We love who he is. What he has made Sundowns to be. We became this giant in Africa. We have done exceptionally well. We delivered under this guy, and we couldn't be more excited by the news we've received today. To say Pitso Mosimane all the best with the 4 years. We know that we'll deliver. Thank you.
President, for trusting Pitso with another 4 years. Sir Pitso, we thank you for staying with us for another 4 years. We hope in these 4 years we'll reach Latte Simba, we'll win the M10 8, second star, and Cup and Cup.